The silence in our Oak Haven home wasn't peaceful. It was heavy. I sat at the mahogany dining table while my wife, Sarah, and her sister Jillian shared a bottle of wine, laughing at a joke I wasn't part of. I reached for the salt, and my hand brushed Jillian's. She pulled back as if I were a wet rag. God, Elias, you're like a ghost, she snapped. Always just lurking. That's when Jillian said it. Honestly, if you disappeared tomorrow, no one would notice. The mail would still come, and we'd finally have some leg room. She looked at Sarah, waiting. And Sarah? She didn't gasp. She let out a sharp, melodic laugh. You're not wrong, Jill, she whispered. Before we go deeper into this story, take a second and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like and let us know where you're watching from. I'm curious to know how far these stories travel. That laugh sliced through me. They didn't see a man. They saw a paycheck and a shadow. But shadows have a way of lengthening when the sun goes down. As a software engineer, moving data was my specialty. I began the great vanishing right under their noses. I didn't pack a bag. I moved my life into a digital ether. I rerouted my personal accounts and moved my assets into a private trust they couldn't touch. I stayed quiet and helpful, even cooking Jillian's favorite risotto the night before I planned to leave. Tuesday morning was gray, perfect for a disappearance. I waited until Sarah left for yoga and Jillian was asleep. I didn't leave a note. I drove out of Oak Haven without looking back, heading for a new life in Seattle. Before we continue, take a second and share your thoughts so far on this story below. I read every single one. By week 3, reality hit them. Sarah's credit cards were declined at a high-end boutique. What she didn't realize was that I had legally dissolved our joint assets based on a post-nuptial agreement she'd signed years ago without reading. The house was owned by a holding company I controlled, and the lease was up. I watched through the Ring camera as a process server handed Sarah an eviction notice. She collapsed onto the porch while Jillian screamed about her rights. Sarah eventually tracked me down in Seattle. She looked older, her designer clothes wrinkled. "How could you do this?" she hissed. "We thought you were dead." "No, Sarah," I said. "You were just inconvenienced. You told me no one would notice if I disappeared. And I'm just proving you right." The sisters turned on each other like starved wolves, and I finally felt the air in my lungs. Thank you so much for joining me on Family Secrets and Revenge. This story is a reminder that if your presence isn't treated as a gift, your absence should be a lesson. Please like, subscribe, and share your overall thoughts on my story in the comments. Until next time.